Hi, this is Joe.
And I'm Dave, and I'm out of my friggin' mind.
Yeah, that doesn't surprise me.
I need more coffee.
When don't you need more coffee?
Good point.
Probably when you need less coffee. Now that I actually stop and think about that for a second.
We need like the Harry Potter coffee drinking game. Harry Potter. Wait,
I could use that. I have no problem with that. Speaking of which, I have coffee right here.
tastes like chicken.
Probably it
Ah.
does.
So,
So
how you been?
not too bad. How about you, dude?
Well, I got my shiny shirt for the con.
Yay, and we've got your jacket ready. By the way, we
Yes.
might actually want to introduce what show this is. This is the long-awaited episode 14 of the Wibbly Wobbly Geeky Weekly podcast.
Not my fault.
Um,
Not my
in,
fault. He's
in,
the
case,
director.
in case you haven't noticed, Dave made me wait.
It's
Um, he
his fault.
he threatened me with torture if I tried to put out an episode. So what I did is I faked recording one. And by fake, I mean it recorded the first 30 seconds of an entire episode we did about a week ago, and that was it.
We
we
have
sat here.
technical
We
difficulties.
we quite literally sat here and did an entire episode to ourselves.
I think our computers need some Cialis because
This was
they're
on
not performing.
this was on the new computer. That's the sad thing.
Our computers are not performing. They need Cialis or Viagra.
So I decided the hell with it. I've been wanting to experiment with this for a while. We are doing our first video show. God help you all.
Yeah, you have to look at us. Oh, wait.
And your head just kind of melted for a second. That's better. We are going to have fun pointing out what the other one is seeing on video on occasion. So.
Oh. Now I'm glad because you guys can't see it. I can have the camera right up against the wall. None of you can see that. My room is a complete fucking mess.
No, but you can still tell them that.
Oh yeah, my room
And,
is a complete
and
fucking
if it looks
mess.
like my room is a mess, it's not. I'm in the basement, so it doesn't really matter.
Yeah, well, you
And
live in the
by the
basement.
way, I apologize when I put this up. For whatever reason, no matter which microphone I use, I've got my headset. I've tried my fairly expensive blue snowball mic, and basically it sounds like I'm talking out of a tin can.
Yeah, there's a
I
solution
have
for
no
that.
idea why.
Talk louder.
I can't talk any louder. It will keep people awake because it is a thin floorboard above me.
And we should do this at a reasonable time.
Why the hell would we start that now?
Can we wrap this up so I can get my cow tipper on here?
No. We have news we got to deal with.
Crap.
So you go ahead and lead off with what you would like, sir.
Well, it's a it's a weird story.
It's a
It's really weird that Emily Van Camp, she was very in. Or I'm sorry, I started out on the wrong story. There we go. Celine Woodley, I believe her name was, who's working on the Amazing Spider-Man.
yes.
Well, they decided, you know what? Amazing Spider-Man 2. We don't need Mary Jane. Let's kick her ass to the curb. Wait for the third movie.
Yeah.
And a little bit later, they said, you know what? Fuck her. And they've decided they've got a new secret role in an Amazing Spider-Man, reportedly to be the Black Cat.
Yeah. Um,
Uh,
I'm kind of surprised that they're not going with at least introducing her in the second movie. They went from it's gonna be a pretty decent part, a pretty decent sized part to we're just gonna kind of introduce her to you know what we're just gonna scrap the idea to we're completely replacing the actress. That might have something to do with some of the backlash that was hitting them earlier this year, where
Yeah.
a lot of people were just, oh, she doesn't look exactly like Mary Jane. Yeah, you know what? Neither did Kirsten Dunst.
I hated
Okay,
Kirsten Dunst. She was a horrible Mary Jane. All she did was fucking scream.
you know what? I liked her, but that's neither here nor there. Um,
Seriously, all she did was scream. Mary Jane in the comics is a tough, you know, girl who grew up in
she's
Queens. She knows her way.
she's had her moments. She really has had her moments in the books. So
But on to the next story, I guess.
sorry guys, allergy medication just took a little. Um, for the next story, I'd like to talk about one that.
Allergy medication.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Um, no, one that I'd like to bring up. Like you said, the Xbox One did a 180.
No, did a 360
No,
all
that
the
would
way
be
around.
I was gonna say if they came all the way around, I'd be right back to everybody just wanting nothing but a PS4. No, as I'm sure a lot of you heard, initially you were not going to really be able to share games. They were going to make sure that if you bought a game, yeah, you couldn't trade it in because nobody else would be able to use it. You had to check in online every day. Basically, they wanted control of your Xbox even though you bought it.
They wanted to watch you masturbate.
Yes, and with this thing still having a Connect attached to it, eventually, when I have to replace my 360, it'll be with another 360 because I don't personally like the Connect, and I don't like the fact that it's going to be on all the time to begin with.
You put a towel
I
over it.
don't like being watched by my Xbox.
Put a towel over it like you do with your one eye.
No, I mean hell, I just even my webcam here. I when I'm done, I close it, take it down, and I close it up. Just because there are viruses that can get into your webcam that will go, hey, we're watching you. But bless you. But
Excuse
as
me.
certainly, update as of 4:42 p.m. This story is moving very quickly, and there are more guesses and reporting of the initial rumors than anything else. But it does seem that Microsoft is updating the Xbox One's fact page. That's frequently asked questions for those who don't understand that. The company specifically mentioned that the updates, which are not available yet, are a result from the Xbox community. In other words, people went ape shit and said, "We're not buying your freaking product. We're going to get a PS4." The next update, 9 minutes later, went from 4:42 p.m. to 4:51 p.m. It's confirmed the Xbox One will have no always on slash check-in requirements, and it will work with disc-based games exactly as the 360 does. That means gamers will be able to buy, sell, and trade games with no new policies to negotiate.
Mm. Because
Um,
I make a small living off of trading in games or selling games if I need to.
yeah,
I rarely buy games anymore. I have a GameFly account. With this new system, what they wanted to do would put GameFly out of business,
well, you know
essentially.
what? A lot of these companies actually do eventually want to put things like GameFly and GameStop and all of these out of business because hey, once somebody's bought the game and then they trade it in, the company turns around and says, "No, we're going to sell it for $30. Oh, we're getting it back. We're going to pay you $10, and we're going to sell it for $24." Microsoft and Sony and Nintendo and all of these other companies never see a dime from any of that. So I can kind of understand their position. Maybe what they should do instead of trying to shut them down is work with them and find a way to split the profits. Even if, let's say, GameStop keeps 80, 85% or 80% of
Or
a resale game, and then Microsoft gets 20.
Or here's an idea. Microsoft could, Microsoft stores could start selling mm, games and
Actually,
trade-ins.
we've got a Microsoft store over here. It does sell games. I don't know about trade-ins yet, but they have started selling games up here. So I can't say that they're not. Matter of fact, they've got new copies of Halo 4 for only $40,
Hmm.
which is not bad. So go there, you actually get a little bit of a discount. Uh, and I'm just saying, hopefully this does not turn out to be a rumor. Hopefully this is actually what's happening because
Well, PlayStation 3
otherwise,
did the same thing
well,
when they came out.
yeah, but now here's the thing. Here's the one other problem. There's still between 100 and 150 more than a PS3.
Yeah, that's
That
the problem.
that was the main reason initially I went with the Xbox because it's like Xbox cheaper, we take. This time around, it's PlayStation 4 cheaper, we take. Um, yeah, that's. I don't know if you've got anything else on that story, but that's pretty much it
No,
for me
sir.
there. All right, your
My
turn.
next story
Yes.
is a sad story.
Oh,
Soprano star James Gandolfini has died at the age of 51. And I
yeah.
do not know if I pronounced that right.
Oh, you did. Um,
According to sources, he has had a heart attack while on vacation in Italy. So he went with a smile.
yeah. No, I'm.
Just so we don't get any letters or hate mail, I joke about death. All right. I joke about my own death. I've been in the hospital a lot.
Yes, we're
I
all
love,
waiting for you to die. I mean, no, we don't want that.
but
That's
you
so
know,
helpful.
big star, you know,
Yeah.
did The Sopranos, and they say when he died, he just faded to black. Sorry, I got pages of this stuff.
he
No,
just went, hey, and stopped. No,
that's a
it's.
horrible joke. It just popped into my head
Ay, 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 ay.
like a pop blood vessel. No. Ah,
Uh, you need help.
yes. No.
Yes.
Alrighty, where was I? Oh,
Let's go on
yes.
to another story before you get hurt and get people wanting
I'm
to
sorry
send you
if I
death
turn my
threats.
head like this. It's because my iPad is over here and I'm on the computer with Skype. It's the
That's
only way I can do, multiple tasking here.
yeah. Well, hey, at least it's working. And quick update. As of next week, I'll have somebody working on my old computer. Hopefully, we will have a website within the next week or so. We won't be trapped on just iTunes.
Don't lie to them.
I'm going to be turning my old computer into a server. So basically, all I'll need is housing. I can go back. I can go to Gator hosting or whatever
Now
it is.
serving Joe's old computer.
Yes. So I hook that up with my external hard drive, and that'll give me just about a terabyte to get started with until we can change the RAM in there and add more RAM. Not change it, but add more.
Ram.
Anyway,
Next story.
my
I
my
got one.
okay.
Eh, eh.
Me next.
Okay.
It's a quick one, and honestly, I do want to read it when it comes out. This August, DC Universe versus Masters of the Universe. This is a thing. It is happening. And it is
Bow,
happening.
chicka,
It is a
wow.
6-issue miniseries in August. Uh, the August solicitations. This is who it's written by. It's written by Kevin. Or I'm not. Wow. The English language decided
Enunciate.
to bitch slap me. Let me try that again. It's written by Keith Giffen and illustrated by Dexter Soy. The series starts in August and sees the heroes of Eternia coming to Earth to prevent Skeletor from conquering it.
Did they use the
That seems
cosmic key?
that seems to be the rule for team ups. I will slap you.
Did we use the cosmic key just to go there and order out Kentucky Fried Chicken?
No, and
Damn.
Tom Paris won't be in it either. That seems to be the rules for team ups: fight, talk, team up. Griffith told BuzzFeed about the series. I'm not saying there won't be conflict between MOTU and the DCU characters, just that we're going to try to dodge the obvious cliches.
I'm just saying.
We're going to see He-Man and Superman try to beat the crap out of each other.
And Batman's going to take on the rest of the, Eternians. Because they don't really have any powers.
Well, it's going to be Wonder Woman against Teela.
Yes, but Batman could take the rest of them down by himself. They have no powers.
So, neither does he.
Yeah, that's why he can take him down. He's Batman.
Yeah, no.
He's like that.
That argument doesn't work for me. Sorry.
My argument is valid. Shut up.
I'm Batman. Yes, you are. What else have you got?
I fight crime in a rubber suit. It really seals in the flavor.
I'm the goddamn Batman. No, stop quoting Frank Miller. Frank Miller has gone bye-bye now.
Him and his Nazi pasty wearing women.
Oh, yeah, but that was when Frank Miller could actually tell a decent story. All right, you go ahead with your next one, and you know which story I want to do. You brought it up to me, but you know I want to do it. So.
Nope, sorry. I'm about to do that one next.
Well, then I'm gonna read it.
Fine.
Sorry. Yeah, hey, I was watching the show long before you even bloody heard of it. Lost Doctor Who episode rumors take an interesting turn. Turns out there was a story about yesterday on Slice of Sci-Fi about a cache of lost Doctor Who episodes that have been recovered, but it was most likely a hoax. Excuse me. Part of this was because former Doctor Who consultant Ian Levine was vehemently denying news that the lost episodes have been found.
I know nothing!
Now he's changing his tune, and there may be hope for Doctor Who fans after all. Excuse me. Anyway, Levine tweeted that he was speechless, and sources at the BBC barefaced lied to him about
Come on,
the
say it
recovered
ball-faced.
Yeah, no, sorry, I had my squee moment. I couldn't help it. Now, the part that I'm curious about is it does not say at all what episodes were found. Even if it was a hoax, you think there would have been something stating, hey, we've got this, we've got that. Absolutely nothing came out of this. So, what are your thoughts on it?
I don't know. There's a few episodes I want to see, like the original Daleks in New York.
Oh, you're talking about the chase. I would love it. I mean, that thing is a beast to get through, and there are literally episodes.
There are like 5 episodes for one story.
Oh no, this is a 12-episode story. There are episodes in there that are literally filler. There is a Christmas episode that has nothing to do with the story. To the point where, at the end of the episode, William Hartnell breaks character at the very end of the episode to wish everybody at home a Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas, mate.
They end up in a haunted house. Turns out it's an amusement park in the future where they're being chased by Frankenstein's monster.
Was he a Cyberman?
Dracula, no. The Wolfman. And these things manage to take out a Dalek. A Dalek is defeated by Dracula.
That sucks.
That's cool. Come on. Granted, it's a robot Dracula, but still. But yeah, no, I would love it if it turned out just to be that. I could work with that. Now, do you have any other stories, sir?
Just a tad, just a little bit.
Go for it.
New details surfacing on Disney's Star Wars, including solo Han Solo movies. Yes, I said that. Solo Han Solo movies.
I don't want a solo Han Solo movie.
Wait, what?
I don't
Solo
want-
yourself.
Oh,
Let's see.
Go
We've
solo
known
my pants.
for some time that Disney plans on releasing a new Star Wars film every year, starting with J.J. Abrams' Episode 7 in 2015. Now, they had received a slew of new details of what to expect from some of these movies. Such as... Oh, God, I'm looking at the timeline here. Episode...
yeah,
Jesus, horrible.
don't you like that?
No, that's horrible.
You don't like their timeline?
No.
We're going to shove Star Wars down your throat for the next few years.
There will be spin-offs starring Boba Fett, a younger Han Solo. Let's see. Han Solo will reportedly revolve around his friendship with Chewbacca, and how they became partners and crime and the Millennium Falcon. God, I always thought that Chewbacca just retired from war and wanted to fly a ship and then go home for Life Day.
You will never mention Life Day again.
Now with Les Jefferson Starship.
Now he's going to start trying to do Wookiee Christmas carols.
I'm sorry, boy. It was for your own good. But now you're chasing rabbits in hell.
Anybody who used to listen to Old School Pendant gets that joke. That's about 3 people.
Is this punch spiked?
You bet your crinkly white ass it is.
How do you know my ass is crinkly
like
and
I
white?
do.
How do you know my ass is crinkly and white?
I can look at you. You're even pastier on camera than you are in real life. I mean, literally, you look like the finger paste that children use.
I have lighting.
Yay. Yeah, turn it off. Doesn't help you any.
Let's see. Are there any other? There is nothing much. Oh.
Yeah, we picked kind of a bad week to come back. So.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I just came across this. A live-action teaser trailer for Tiger Mask.
Yeah, I noticed that before. I'm not familiar with Tiger Mask. Have you heard of it?
I've heard of him. Kind. If it's who I think it is, you've seen him too on Ninja Warrior.
No, this isn't. It's based off a manga and an anime.
No, but yeah, since it was 1969 was the anime.
Oh my
but
god, that's right. It's about a wrestler.
Yeah.
Oh my god. I just went to YouTube.
Well,
this is up one year ago. Tiger Mask versus Ultraman. This is an actual wrestling match.
Now is Ultraman really
Dave,
big?
I'm gonna need you to put a link up to this on the Facebook later. Just because we know that's going to be horrible. I apologize. Please continue.
Well, I just put a link up right now for the Tiger Mask to our Facebook page right now. So you guys can see that and see how no, I've been watching horrible movies lately. I swear to God.
Oh yeah.
Movies are so bad.
So how was the end of All Superheroes Must Die?
Dude, that movie was so fucking. Oh, dude, when hero, okay, you have a 90-second fuse on dynamite. They have to, deactivate the fuse, and while one of them fights a guy in a enclosed trampoline, who's dressed like a wrestler.
This description is making me need this, by the way.
and one guy is stomping on the fuse trying to make it go out. I'm thinking, why not just pull the fuse out? Just yank it. But anyway, this is like an old-fashioned stick of dynamite fuse.
It's almost like the Wile E. Coyote.
Yes, and then
You just
the
need the road
one guy, the one guy who's supposed to be the smart guy, picks up a pickaxe.
Because it was
and,
a smart guy in this movie, folks.
Yes, he's supposed to be the smart guy, and hits the fuse with a pickaxe, and it goes out. Where 3 seconds later, it relights, the superheroes run, and the civilians go boom. Yeah.
It's kind of right. See, I love these type of movies. My favorite movie to watch every Christmas, Santa's Sleigh.
Thanksgiving.
With Bill Goldberg as Santa Claus. You have a
Jewish
giant,
Christian deity.
bald Jewish man as a killer Santa.
Thanksgiving.
That is as awesome as it sounds. I have yet to see Thanksgiving.
The gingerbread man.
I think we're finding our new series here.
Oh, we have to watch horrible movies.
Well, we're still going to see Space Message.
I've never heard of that.
We talked about that a while ago.
We did?
Yes, the movie is up on YouTube. We were actually going to try and watch that at some point. Or Message from Space, excuse me. Yeah.
I thought we were going to watch Plan 9 from Outer Space again.
Oh, I still have to do that too. But
speaking of that, I got to see the very first zombie movie a few weeks back, featuring Bela Lugosi, called White Zombie.
Very cool. I love muting the mic.
Anyways, should we, since there's not much news this week, shall we get to the meat and the gravy of this episode?
Yeah, as long as there's no potatoes to put with it.
Man of Steel. Okay, we're done. Let's go.
I'm gonna mute the mic and walk away for a minute. That way nobody can actually hear me slam my head against the wall.
Now, okay. By the way, if you're listening or watching, spoilers. Spoilers.
Yeah, most people who are going to go see it have seen it. But yes, just in case you haven't, skip the end of the episode. We will see you next week or whenever the hell we can get an episode up again.
Well,
as for anybody else, you know what? I did like the movie. Up until one thing that we'll get to.
All right. Well,
and they killed it. But anyway, let's.
The movie starts out on Krypton. You've got.
I did like their version of Krypton.
I did. Their version of Krypton was very, very
the giant pterodactyl parakeet.
Yes, that made me just flash back to Star Wars. Obi-Wan Jarrell. Yes, we got Jarrell riding on a giant pterodactyl thingy. He goes to meet the council after his wife gives birth to Kal-El, a.k.a. Superman, a.k.a. Clark Kent, a.k.a. Anyways, he's telling people, you know what? You need to give me the codex. We need to get the fuck out of here. The planet's going to go boom. When General Zod bursts in, kills the head of the council, says, fuck you, I'm taking over. Not in those words,
Yeah.
It's a PG-13 movie.
Yeah. And you can tell that Zod and Jarrell were friends.
You might want to put your mic up a little bit because I'm having trouble hearing you at the moment.
Oh, lovely. Is that better?
Yes.
Okay.
They were friends.
You can tell that they had been friends for a long time.
Yes.
But,
Jarrell is really pleading with Zod.
Yeah.
Don't do this. Don't do it. So,
Zod... Why not? Shoot somebody else.
So, Jarrell leaves. jumps on. He escapes and jumps on his pterodactyl with
Parakeet.
4 wings
The
and
crop.
goes where they keep something called the Codex, which is a piece of skull
And
with
basically, they proceed to reenact a scene out of Star Wars, the
Matrix.
Clone Wars.
No, Matrix. It's more the Matrix to
You
me.
think so?
They breed humans in bubbles.
Well, yeah, there's that too.
Or they breed Kryptonians in bubbles.
At least
Here's
it's
the thing.
explained why, though.
They take the
I
DNA
kind
from
of
this
like that
skull,
explanation.
and each Kryptonian has a certain job that they're born and bred to do from this DNA. And Zod wants control of it because he wants to choose what DNA or what bloodline gets to do what. He wants to have that choice. And Drell goes to basically steal the Codex. So Zod can't do that, and the planet's going to blow up, so he wants to save the Kryptonian race. Steals it, gets shot at. His pterodactyl dies. Makes it home, and proceeds to say to his wife Laura, which I actually appreciated Laura's character. They made her a little smart. She wasn't just a mom who shot out babies in this movie.
Yeah,
She
she
was a
was an actual
scientist.
character.
Yes, she was a scientist. She didn't just shoot the baby out. She helped prepare the ship. She helped do all that.
Right.
Jor-El breaks down the Codex, puts it in the in the ship, in a manner of speaking. Lays down Superman with Kal-El and his super wiener.
Yeah, this is the second movie that we've seen Little Superman. I'm getting tired of seeing Little Superman. I don't want to see that anymore. It makes me feel uncomfortable.
Little
Anyway.
Superman was kind of big though, even though it's kind of it was kind of like
Really?
what, dude? It was right there in your face. It was like watching Dr. Manhattan and Watchmen.
Okay.
The baby was sitting there like this.
Need an adult. Need an adult.
Bad
I
touchy.
really wasn't paying that much attention to it.
Anyways, Zod breaks in. Ship goes up.
He stabs Jor-El. Jor-El falls down, goes boom.
Jor-El goes, eh. And Zod and all of his followers get sent to the Phantom Zone, a.k.a. a black hole. He calls it a black hole.
Yeah.
And to mention before,
well, they did call it the Phantom Zone. They called it both.
Yeah. Well, and to mention,
which means the Phantom Zone
Jor-El,
this is some kind of a singularity.
And Jor-El had used the Phantom engine, an experimental Phantom engine on Kal-El's ship, to make it to Earth.
Right.
Then you get your opening credits. Then all of a sudden, you see a very hairy person working as a greenhorn on a crab fishing boat.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, there's an oil fire, or an oil rig on fire. Where's the greenhorn? Oh, he's gone.
Yeah, he ran away.
Saves the day. He's on fire. Took him 2 to 3 seconds to, swim there.
Yeah.
And he saves the day. But it took him hours to swim back.
Well, I don't think he was all that far away. He was on the boat in the middle of the ocean when they got that call.
Yeah.
But then he didn't go back to the boat. He swam to shore. So, yeah, it's going to take him a hell of a lot longer to get back to shore than it would have if he'd gone back to the boat.
Anyways, after he had saved the bad guy, or the good guys, the oil riggers.
He stole somebody's clothing.
Yeah, well, I'm talking about before that, you get your first flashback. Then you get another flashbacks here and there, flashbacks, more flashbacks, and flashbacks, and flashbacks.
Again, I'm fine with the flashbacks.
I felt like I was watching Nolan's Batman again.
Well, he did produce it. Yeah. Jonathan.
Okay. Jonathan was a dick.
Jonathan is kind of an asshole. Yeah,
He was a dick.
yeah.
He was a dick and an asshole. Dick going into an asshole.
He was an ass dick.
Clark saves his classmates. They're about to drown. They basically redid the scene from the first episode of Smallville, except, with a bus and
Instead of Lex
without
Luthor's
legs.
car. Yeah. And I don't know what was going on with Pete in this, but Pete was kind of a dick too.
Yeah. But guess what? Clark saved him anyway.
Yeah.
But
Because that's what he does.
yes, Clark asks him, well, what was I supposed to do? Let him die?
Maybe.
Jonathan's famous response. I was hoping when I saw the trailer
That it was out of
that
context.
this was out of context. Yeah. He says, maybe.
His whole thing was, Dave's going to find you and Dave's going to cut you into little pieces to see how you work.
Even though nobody can cut him.
Never did he really say, are you going to be special? You're going to grow up to do great things. It was, stay hidden, stay safe. It was kind of like Gandalf trying to protect the ring instead of Jonathan helping Clark grow into the man that he should be.
Which is why I liked Smallville better. Jor-El had visited Earth and knew the Kent.
This actually makes Smallville look like better canon than what he grew up with. And I'm gonna jump around a little bit here.
Yeah, I'm going to be doing that myself.
When in another flashback, when Jonathan died, they were going for a big emotional response. There were nothing but dry eyes in the house.
Yes, he's just standing there.
How?
Yep. You know how. How.
It's like, okay, so the dog is in the car. Okay. Clark is like, I'll go get him. No, I'll go get him. Clark should have been, no, you go take care of Mom. I can't get hurt. You're a dumbass. Go. Instead he goes, okay. And then Jonathan gets his foot broke. The dog gets away, and he doesn't even try to maybe get undercover, find something, anything. Instead, he just stands there.
And to be fair, if before the tornado overtook him, it should have sucked him up like 50 yards away.
Oh, yeah, it was grabbing everything else, and he just
it didn't
there, and it kind of absorbed him.
And even then, Clark could have used the cover of the funnel cloud to catch his dad. Get his dad. He
could have used the cover of Mid-Afternoon to save his father.
But
sorry,
no, seriously.
Reference.
But anyways, throughout the first 40 minutes of the movie, you've got Clark jumping around from job to job all over the country. And
while they're introducing Lois.
Eventually, I will introduce her. No, well, actually, one of the funniest scenes was kind of a reimagining of the trucker scene in, Superman 2.
Yeah.
You've got a trucker that's harassing the waitress. Clark is working there at, as a busboy.
Right.
But he's like, leave the lady alone. Don't fuck with her. The guy says, "Oh, what are you gonna do?" Dumps his beer on Clark. Clark, he keeps it cool. You could really see the beer boiling on his head because he's pissed.
Yeah.
Then he says, "I'll make you leave, or I'll make you." The guy tries to push Clark, just like, it's like pushing a wall. The guy literally bounces back. Clark, sucks it up, walks outside. The guy goes outside later on. You see his truck with all sorts of telephone poles and trees stuck through it in the...
Oh, it was awesome. And again, that was a little bit of a callback to Smallville as well, if you think about it. When the kids were giving Clark a lot of shit, he knew he couldn't freaking hit them. So they walk out of the party and their trucks were just stacked up. I think there were like 8 pickup trucks sitting all on top of each other. Ah!
But all right,
Matter of
then you
fact, I think
get
that might have been the end of the first episode, if I'm
actually
remembering
while he
correctly.
was in that bar working, he heard on the news about something that had been found underneath the ice.
Hmm.
He goes, or next you cut to Lois showing up in. They're all up in Canada. It's Canada, but the U.S. have taken authority there,
Canada.
and yeah, that pissed me off. The Americans have taken authority in Canada. You know, ugh,
Well,
it hurts.
that's
It
kind of
hurts.
normal. They do that in every movie. I've kind of gotten used to that.
Not to mention,
They could go to Japan and we're taking over.
not to
Okay.
mention. Okay, Lois's excuse for being there in a military presence was, well, it's Canada, so you can't say anything.
No, the thing is you're like, oh well, we were expecting you tomorrow. She's like, yeah. Basically, she called them on their bullshit. She said, yeah, and you'd have had everything that I wanted to report on hidden by then. That's why I'm here today. I, I do like I do like Lois in this movie. She's
Yes and
not
no.
an idiot.
She's not
She
an idiot,
she
but she's
immediately starts putting two and two together, and every other Lois kind of went two and two equals one, where she went two and two equals four. Now let's start putting the pieces of the puzzle together.
well. Here's the thing: you got Lois. She gets off the helicopter where they are. Yeah, you know, I would have, like I said, I would have liked a better explanation to why she was there. Like General Lane got hooked me up. You know, my dad hooked me up. You know, that's why I'm on this story. He knows people on the inside
Yeah, no,
because you know her
it would
dad's
have
a
been
general.
nice, but again, you didn't really need it. They kind of with this movie they were just kind of trying to get straight to the setup,
And
and
you
I can
got Clark,
appreciate that.
and you've got Clark there being demanded to take her bags. It's
Hey
like
Joe, grab
careful,
her bags, okay? And she doesn't notice him.
yeah, careful. Those are heavy.
Yeah, and meanwhile he's sitting there like, yeah, okay.
Uh, Meanwhile, they give her a pot to piss in and a cot and a tent.
Literally.
Yes. Later that night, she's out in the middle of the night, pitch black for the most part, taking pictures. And it's not a night vision camera. She's taking pictures with a normal fucking camera in the dark. No flash, no nothing.
Speaking of cameras, I just want to talk
I'm
about
calm. I'm
the
enhancing my calm.
I just want to talk about the technical aspect of this entire movie for a minute. This wasn't a found footage movie. This movie, as far as I know, was not filmed on a camcorder. They have things called tripods and steady
Well,
cams. You even put them on little tracks and roll them. I would have liked at least 5 minutes where I wasn't getting nauseous.
no, they
I
filmed the
didn't get
entire.
this sick during freaking Cloverfield.
Well, they filmed the entire movie on shoulder cams.
Yeah, you could notice. You know why? Everything looked like this.
Hey, you look
I'm
great.
just standing here, but you're never gonna really get the focus on my face. I mean, there was no need for that at all. We're going for realism. Yeah, you know what? I've watched movies that go for realism, and they use a fucking steady cam. Give it a shot.
All right. Well, she's taking
But
pictures in the dark.
by the way, one more thing. I'm sorry. What one line that I really liked. This is going back to the destruction of Krypton. You are seeing towers of fire come shooting up, kind of like you did in the original Superman the animated series. When Krypton went up, you had those green spires of flame.
Mm.
Same kind of thing, except they were normal color. They were red. She's standing there looking at this, and the robot comes up and basically says, "Don't you think you should find a place to hide?" And she looks almost like she wants to slap it and say, Where? The world is blowing up. Where am I gonna go? For an artificial intelligence, you're not that intelligent. I apologize. Back to Lois trying to take pictures without a flash on her camera because there she's not all
And
that good.
apparently, in the middle of the dark, she can see halfway up the cliff to, see a man,
A pasty white guy against snow.
Against ice and snow, climbing the rock. Meanwhile, I gotta say,
and they show a close up of that picture. Did you spot anybody?
No.
I sure as hell didn't.
Here's the thing, too. They are there for something that's underneath the ice. It's huge. It's been there for thousands of years, they said. Mm-hmm. And on top of it, there seems to be what's like an ice oil rig.
Right.
Clark goes inside, uses his heat vision to get to the center, and apparently he uses his heat vision, got straight to the damn door.
And all he found was nougat.
Lois follows him.
And basically gets tentacle raped.
Yeah.
It turned into a hentai.
The security system is basically tentacles from a small hovering robot.
Legends of the Overfiend, anybody? Sorry.
Clark has his little super key crystal thing, a crystal of the future. You had that green crystal in the original Superman. You've got like a little USB chip port thing.
Yeah. Stop moving around so much. There you go. That's better.
Puts it in a slot. Or at first he looks around the ship a little bit. You got a couple of bodies in cryo chambers, and you get what's one of our first Easter eggs, an empty pod. One of the pods is open and empty, which is a little bit of a nod to Kara.
Mm-hmm.
Now, we move on. Clark puts the thing in the slot, starts following a hologram, realizes it's his dad. He saves Lois. I forgot about that. He saves Lois from the tentacle porn. And uses his heat vision.
Because
since she got injured, he had to use the heat vision to cauterize the wound. He's like, "This is gonna hurt."
This robot, whatever it was, actually basically shoved a tentacle into her stomach. I don't know what else to call them. I'm not even trying to be funny anymore. They looked like octopus tentacles, and it ripped into her stomach. So he had to
sear her shut.
Yeah, basically he closed the wound with heat vision.
It's like, this is gonna hurt a lot, and you just hear her blood curdling scream. And she wakes up on on the ice with a helicopter.
Yes.
Now, at this point, the ship takes off. Now, I'm reminding you of what I said earlier. There was an oil rig on top of it, and the ship took off.
Yeah.
What do you think happened to all those people up there?
They ran away.
They did.
They did. There you go.
And the ship goes away with Clark in it, travels further north.
Yeah,
You get a 10-minute discussion with Jor-El, and Jor-El goes, "Here, Hope." And apparently, the suit was already made in a ship that Clark didn't even know about.
Well, again, with the suit, I can kind of roll with that because they showed it. They showed Jor-El wearing something very, very similar, right down to the colors.
He wore a black one.
He did at one point have the blue and red on.
He didn't have the blue and red. He had the gray armor, and he wore the black suit. Now, here's the thing.
Because the blue and red were supposed to be, and the yellow were supposed to be the colors of his house, I believe.
But here's this is how I can explain it away. As soon as Clark put the chip in, you know how most of their technology was, building something out of everything else.
Yes,
I'm thinking the chip with Jarell in it told the ship to make the suit.
that's possible. That's very possible. Um, and again, it would have been cool if it had taken longer for him to actually get into the suit and actually spend some
Mm.
time with his father,
He's like,
or I
here.
should say Jor-El. But at the same time, again, they're trying to streamline and they're trying to get to the heart of the story.
He like you will give them an ideal to strive for, which are some of these lines are from All Star Superman,
Yes.
comic All Star Superman.
And then we get my favorite moment of the movie, the greatest American hero montage. He's jumping around like a Mexican jumping bean, jumps up, and he's like, "Hey, I can fly, I can fly!" Oh shit, I can't, and smashes through a mountain. And I just had William Cat in the suit with the theme song running through my head through that entire scene. I was waiting for Superman to go, "Oh shit, I lost the instruction manual."
But really quick, he starts flying. He's flying all over the place. He went everywhere, that way, this way, that way, up, down, left, right, back forward, A, B.
And he flew over so much stock footage that it was ridiculous. And I mean,
Yes.
I'm sorry, that was a horrible, horrible effect. Oh, if we blur him, he'll match. Well, no, no, he won't. You already got the camera shaking like you're in the middle of a fucking earthquake. You blurred him, and you've got 1970s footage of wildebeest running under him. No, that really didn't work. I did not believe a man could fly. I believed a man could stand in front of a green screen and go like this. That was about it.
Anyways,
I've got to bring up the technical as I see it.
yes.
You know,
At the same time this is happening, Lois is backtracking and learning about this mysterious man who crushed a robot in his hand, saved her life, and flew away in a giant spaceship.
I
As
would kind of
well,
want to find out a little bit more as well.
yes, but she tried to sell that story about the spaceship to the planet, and Perry said, fuck you. You're not fucking crazy.
Perry's like, look, I believe you. Nobody else is going to believe you.
And to be honest, he
Meanwhile,
did not
Jimmy
believe her.
Olsen, I mean, Jenny Olsen is outside.
And to be honest, he didn't believe her.
You know what he did? That's why he was upset with how flippant she got.
No,
And
because he was
says, look,
surprised when
even
she decided to drop it later.
yeah, he was surprised for a minute, and then the next day realized what was going on when Bruce Timm come out of the woodwork and said, "Hey, look what she did."
Yeah, he was kind of pissed about that story getting flat. There
Well,
you
I'd
get
be
your
upset
cameo
if
of Bruce Timm.
I was gonna say I'd be upset if if somebody I was working with started selling stories to a guy who was going to turn around and animate it.
Mm.
But yeah,
Anyways, we
I'm
get
glad you point. By the way, I'm glad you pointed out that was Bruce Timm because I'm so used to seeing him with the mustache now that clean shaven didn't recognize him at all. I did not realize that was him.
Lois works her way back, all the way back to Smallville, where she goes to official sponsor of Man of Steel, IHOP.
Hmm.
Product placement is another peeve of mine in this movie.
You know what? I just kind of tuned it out after a few minutes. It didn't
But
bother me
not
at all.
but not once did he use a Gillette razor. The big to do about this whole movie was, especially with Conan. Conan saw the
Well,
saw
that
the
was the gag. The whole thing wasn't. It wasn't so much. Does he really shave? They weren't taking it seriously. It was
I
a
know,
joke.
but it's like they were like, how does he shave? It is a super beard. Okay, there's two possibilities here.
He's just a
You
sweet
said
guy.
you said Hancock. You know, he used, or somebody said Hancock, he used his nails, and shaving cream. If you ever watched Lois and Clark, The New Adventures of Superman, he used a mirror and his heat vision.
Yeah, well, he's done that in the books too. And
Another
there have
actually,
been versions where it says his hair never grew,
hmm,
which doesn't explain the mullet when he came back after he was killed by Doomsday, but that's a whole other story
that's
with
another thing I
Super
liked. I
Bullet.
liked the new Heat vision. What did you think of the new
Yes,
Heat
I
vision?
did. I genuinely like that. I think
They
it
adjust
works
it. It just
really
doesn't,
well.
come out of his pupils. His entire eyes turn red. All the veins around his eyes turn red.
Yep.
You know, um, and getting back to it,
Yeah.
Lois had followed him back to where he was. She went to the IHOP, talked to Pete Ross, the guy he saved in the bus when he was a kid, then went to Martha Kent, went all the way to the Kent farm, and then eventually to Jonathan's grave to
Yeah.
wait for Clark.
Well, because she kind of figured that once she showed up, he wouldn't be too far along, too far behind. Which,
And that was one big thing that bugged me in the movie.
what that she found out so quickly.
Yes. And okay, first of all, it's only the first movie. And she
Yeah.
found I kept okay, wait, maybe he'll kiss her at the end and she'll forget.
God, no.
Oh, but she figures it out, drops the story with Perry, says, I'm not going to pursue it no more. Fuck it.
Yep.
And at this time, okay, he's already Superman, but he's not doing anything until a spaceship comes along and says, "You're not alone. You got one of our kind. His name. He looks like you. We want him. Find him, or we'll kill you."
Yeah.
To which Clark reveals his identity to a priest.
Yep.
Says, "What should I do?"
All right.
You're a fucking god. Deal with it.
Yeah, really. And you'll forgive me. We're going to take a quick break in the middle of recording. All right. We'll be right back.
After these commercial messages.
Yeah. No commercial messages. We'll just be back.